That's what I heard.
Is it ready?
It says we're live.
Give it a chance.
It's a fitty.
All right. It is 6 o'clock, Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting of the Montgomery City Council into session at this time. Thank you to those who are tuning in from the outside and those who showed up to take an interest in our city. We appreciate you being here. We've asked that you silence cell phones and any other devices that may give interruption in our meeting as we proceed tonight. Appreciate that. We do have a full council on board and staff on board. So with that, we'll rise for the pledge of the flags, invocation given by Stan Donaldson.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity to do what's right and just and fair in your sight. And help us, Father, to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and very slow to become angry. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We're putting on the agenda, I'm aware of it.
To the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, we have a presentation of the proclamation for the Montgomery Historical Society. Is there a representative here to receive it?
No representative.
Oh, Cheryl is. Cheryl is.
Cheryl, you are elected. All in
Yeah.
favor said yes.
Yes, no.
It's not debatable.
Do I have to walk down in the front?
Yes.
Check it on.
So you're good. She can do it.
We absolutely do appreciate the Historic Society, and Cheryl's been very active in that cause. I think you knew and had lunch with Sam Houston.
I did. I was a child, but I did.
Maybe I remember wrong. Anyway, whereas the Montgomery Historical Society takes great pride in engaging activities that celebrate the heritage of this city and to provide interesting, fun, and educational events that promote awareness of the history of Montgomery, and whereas the Montgomery Historical Society acknowledges the past resident, Mrs. Anna Weisinger, who restored the Magnolia home with her husband, Mr. Raymond Weisinger, and celebrated the completion of renovations in 1954 with an ice cream social for the residents of Montgomery. And whereas the Montgomery Historical Society wished to host an anniversary event, coming soon, I think, ice cream social, this Saturday, and 2 to 4. Ready? In honor of Miss Hank Weisinger's now infamous celebration, and whereas the Montgomery Historical Society has given impetus and thus formed out of this past event, is therefore hosting the ice cream social along with the Montgomery Magnolia home owner, and whereas invite all citizens of Montgomery, friends and family to join the City Council for this event, April the 27th, 2024, at Magnolia House, 801 College Street, Montgomery, Texas. Now, I, Byron Sanford, Mayor of the City of Montgomery, Texas, do hereby honor and proclaim April 23rd, 2024, at Montgomery Historical Society 70th anniversary event.
Congratulations, Cheryl.
All right. Nice job, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. Good job. Sure. Thank you.
Sure, there's a nice door prize.
Be nice. Glad I can get a prize for sure.
All right. I did not receive any for visitors' citizens forum, so we're on to consent agendas, item 1 and 2, approval of the following minutes. A, City Council Workshop 3/25/24. B, City Council Meeting 4/9/2024. And item 2, review quarterly investment report. What is the council's pleasure on these?
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Casey, second by Sarah. Motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving consent item 1 and 2, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no, and we will approve consent agenda. Item 3, consideration and possible action regarding the response to the request for qualifications for the Town Creek wastewater treatment plant expansion to 0.3 MGD project of authorizing the city administrator to negotiate a professional services contract for the same. Chris.
Good evening, council. In your packets, you'll see a copy of recommendation for proceeding with Hatton Associates for the RFQ for the wastewater treatment plant. So as a reminder, this was all publicly advertised. We got 3 submissions. You'll see a copy of the scoring of those submissions based on the criteria in the RFQ on page 33 of your packets. We received, so from Hatton Associates, Blau Engineering, and Baxter Woodman. The scoring is shown below, with the high score coming out to Hatton Associates. To kind of to sum up the receipts, all of them are qualified firms. This isn't a highly, project is relatively straightforward. The decision factor or the recommendation on the scoring was based on a couple main criteria. One, HAF has a dedicated funding team located in Austin, so in the state. For this, which obviously the funding and funding options for this project are a big component. Baxter Woodman has their own funding staff as well, and they're located in Illinois. So, being access and knowledge of local funds, having someone that was located in the state was the main differentiating factor between these projects. While did not have or does not have a dedicated funding person. Other than that, all of it from technical experience from their proposed staffing was all relatively comparable. But again, the major factor was on the ability to take on the work, size of the firm, as well as the local funding liaison.
Chris, have you worked with them in the past or anywhere else? Okay.
We've, have the actual, and they're here today, they can talk to it. So obviously they have a local Conroe office. I think a lot of their project team will be located not out of the Conroe office for this, but as far as a local representative to be able to come on site quickly in the event that it's needed, it's here. So Lance is here, and he can answer any questions you have for him, as well as Ryan Lundeen, who we all know with his experience with the city through agency capacities. The process going forward on this is to make the recommendation to select. It then goes to your administrator and attorney. They will draft up the agreement, negotiate the terms. So as this is a professional service, they submit qualifications, not a price. So we will assist with that component as appropriate and as needed to get the terms of the agreement in place. And then it'll come back here for approval of the contract, and then off to design.
I have a question.
Sure.
I do adore Ryan Lundeen, but there is no conflict of interest, is there?
Ryan is not involved. Ryan's also not in, so Ryan is on the Economic Development Corporation Board. He's not a voting member here.
Okay.
He is also not directly involved with the project. I think he's here more for, he works for HAF, but he is not directly part of Ryan. You're in the drainage department.
Just the drainage, so anything that's drainage related for the wastewater treatment plant, I'll help with that, but more just a local presence for the need for
Okay.
liaison as well.
I just want to make sure.
Good question.
Very.
Love transparency.
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to accept item number 3 as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stan. Motion's debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving item 3 as presented, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. We will approve item 3 as stated. Item 4, consideration and possible action to authorize the city engineer to begin design of the FM 1097 sanitary sewer relocation project.
So if you remember a couple meetings ago, we entered into the emergency access agreement for the sewer line of 1097 with Montgomery County Fund 160. So that was kind of the first initial stopgap on this project, so we have access in case of emergency pump. We went and met with a couple contractors on site, went through some different alternatives of how to address and the most economical way to address the area. What we don't want to do is try to fix the creek. because that's a much bigger task than what anyone is willing or wanting to take on at this moment. So the proposed solution that we worked through Public Works and Los Angeles is to relocate the line closer to 1097, encase it, and then put it in concrete, blocks at the end to hold it in place. So like was done at Atkins Creek, where that's water line that's close to the road and the casing that's been holding up. Same thing here. Similar at Pizza Shack, that creek has the same casing, a sewer line, it's above the grade of the creek. That one doesn't have the erosion issue, but it's set it back in anchor. So the idea is that this will be self-supported, close to the road, where the erosion is going to be as minimal as it's going to be, because obviously the road is there. And also a big part of this, a lot of variation, is working with TxDOT to see if they can take care of the major drainage components of it. So what's in front of you, you have a rough exhibit, a rough cost estimate, and a proposal to get started. It's all hourly with the big numbers. The goal right now is to get kind of these long lead items going between easement acquisition, because there will be easements that are needed for neighboring property owners, get the survey work done, get the design complete, and then continue to watch it. And if something changes, and we delay construction or advance that, we'll kind of keep you all apprised of that work. So it goes through kind of a couple different alternatives. One is just the sewer line only, which is about $125,000 estimated construction cost. But obviously the drainage portion would add $225,000 to that, and that's kind of a rough guess to be able to try and just stabilize the area right around it to be able to get this line in, but not try to address the entire area. Answer any questions?
So, quick,
Sure.
I know we had this accounts to approve going forward with this, moving on this. When did this hit our radar exactly?
So the agreement, it went relatively quick. So I mean, this area has been an area of concern for a while. It's always something that we've kept our eyes on. Public Works has put in casings on the lines that are there today. What has happened over the past couple of years.
Okay.
So this isn't a brand new issue.
Right.
What changed was the scope and the limits of the erosion continues. So now the line is cased today, but it's out 50 feet from the road, and the creek is within a foot, 2 foot of the manhole. So, if it continues to run away, we'll lose that manhole across the creek.
Absolutely.
So
No.
that's what we're pulling the manholes back and pulling it closer to the road.
I understand the risks involved. I was just trying to figure out, I couldn't remember when we decided we were going to move forward with doing something. The other question is, when do you expect to start moving forward?
So, as soon as we get authorization, we'll get the surveyor out there to get started, to pick up the easements, and then start the property owner negotiations. That's number one, to get the easements in place. And continue TxDOT. We've been talking with them. We've told them about this area multiple times, but we're trying to get something more concrete out of them. But it would start right away. And again, easement acquisition is going to be a long time. If the property owner is amenable, we're going to get the easement, things will move a lot quicker.
So how long before we really get to the bigger outputs?
I would say you're at an easy between 120 days before we get to construction or bidding out this project. 4 or 5 months. Again, depending on.
Okay. So then the big question lies with, this wasn't on any budget item
Correct.
or budgeted into our fiscal year. So, Mary Ann, what's the odds of us having the money to pay for it?
That's a good question.
So this is going to be a capital project. I think we have been looking at whether or not impact fees could fund this. There's some other options, but I don't have a firm answer for you on that.
And Dave and Gary, correct me if I heard wrong, I think Mike is projecting some surplus within one of the funds that he has. I think it was roads and the utility fund. to potentially open up the cost. So once we get through design, or get going in design to tighten up the cost estimate based on the easement question, the text up question, then we'll have a much better idea. The main thing is, getting it to shorten that timeline, because if/when it fails, we're looking at a pretty substantial pumping cost. So trying to minimize that pumping time and pumping cost while during this working out where does this come out of the fund. We do have CO money that was paid generic as water and sewer improvements. So there's a potential to go through there because not all of those have been spoken for. But it's obviously weighing out between the impact fees we cut it because this isn't a listed impact fee project, but some of the other projects that are funded through the CO that provide upsizing, we can take some of those impact fees to offset to open up some CO funds.
So basically, we're comfortable saying that we can pay for it?
Yes, and we also have to keep in mind that we do have a pretty nice surplus in the utility fund, in water surplus. Not that that's necessarily where we want to grab from, but I think to Chris's point, it needs to be done in advance instead of when we have.
Absolutely.
But it could be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're not stretching thin,
And
overreaching.
so before you go to construction, we're looking at about $35,000-$40,000
Okay.
in expenses. And then once that budget's tightened up, some of these outstanding questions on the scope are tightened up, then kind of have a tighter understanding of the source of funding.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Chris, I see the proposed 8-inch sanitary sewer line that takes that dog leg up, and it looks like it comes into the existing line right on the cusp of all of the deterioration. Is that an issue?
The proposed, mine is
So the lime green, and then it goes down 1097, and then it
Right.
comes straight, and then, but our existing, it literally is right here, and then the
yeah.
ground looks like it's already given way there, and I walked this not long ago, and it's
yeah.
Are you talking about here?
right here.
Southwest corner or south of.
Basically,
Yeah, so see where these tie in together, and then there's earth going away right there, so erosion, so right here.
Yes. So if it turns out, so when we kind of survey this area and we get back out there, if we need to move this manhole back to change that angle,
Okay.
we can do that.
Okay, and how far is that? Because, again, I worry about erosion.
There's kind of the limits of the erosion. That's probably couple hundred feet.
Okay.
What about, how bad is that over there on that top? Yeah.
Over here?
No,
Oh,
right there.
Yeah, this is where it's still been eroding back.
Okay.
On the,
But
On
that
the
one,
east
we're
side.
kind of
oh, it is the east side, okay.
getting as far away as we can.
So right where the manhole is.
okay. And we're not nervous about it?
I mean, the whole situation is,
That wasn't a trick question, but I guess it was sounding like
you
it.
know, the ideal of what we're trying to solve is not do another lift station.
Yeah,
Because, our other option is to put a lift station on the side of Pleasant Morgan, which we're in the process of trying to reduce lift stations as much as possible.
yeah.
If for some reason during preliminary design, we get this together and a lot of concerns come up, we'll come back.
Okay.
We looked at stabilizing options and they were 3-4 times more expensive than this.
Okay.
We looked at sheet piling, but the depth, I mean, we're talking some massive sheet piles. And again, we're still not the cost benefit. But again, if we get design and we say, look,
Okay.
we're not comfortable, we'll come back and say, we're going to change.
When you quit sleeping at night over this, let us know.
Right.
Yeah,
This is, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Texting Mike and texting Hayes and Daniel's still there. Good condition. Ever rain on the night of the weekend. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. And pray for no hurricanes.
it's all
Yeah.
Yep. Starting
Okay.
in
All
just a couple minutes.
All right, very good questions. Difficult task. All right, item 4 is up for nomination or
Make a
motion.
Make a motion to authorize the city engineer to begin the design of the project.
Second.
Second is by Sarah. Motion's debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving item 4 going forward as stated, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. We will approve item 4. Item 5, consideration possible action on acceptance of a utility and economic feasibility study for a proposed 86-acre single-family residential development, Morning Cloud Investments, development number 2403.
Starting through this feasibility study, so there's 2 of them on your agenda tonight. There's a lot of similarities between the 2, so I'll go into more detail on number 1, and then number 2 is a lot of the same. So this development is one that they presented to you in the past to kind of run over their general plan of what they had for the development. So as you see on the front cover, this is located just right along the railroad tracks between Old Painesville and Old Dog Painesville Road. Currently, land plan is 246 lots within that 86 acres development. And starting on the executive summary, page 70, kind of hit the high point. So, water plant capacity, you're there today, but as we've been saying, third feasibility study, continuing to plan. With this feasibility study and the next, we do recommend going ahead with the booster pump addition at water plant 3, which is one of your limiting factors, which takes you from about 560,000 gallons a day capacity to 760,000 gallons a day capacity. That is an impact fee project that was previously designed as part of water plant 3 improvements. So it'll be more of a dust off and getting that one out. It was roughly $100,000 to $125,000 project. Sewer capacity is a lot of the same. Again, we obviously have a lot of development, a lot of growth, and we just talked about the engineering for the sewer plant expansion, which is all part of this. So again, as we're doing, we have to proceed with these expansion projects and continue to provide service to our developments in the city. Summary of the cost we'll go through, but they're looking at a total estimated cost of about $1.45 million between fees, off-site infrastructure improvements, and their impact fees. These impact fee shows are based on your current rates. You have the impact fee that's currently in the public publicly posted for about a 9% increase on top of this impact fee number that's shown. And then you'll see down at the bottom their estimated taxable value. We're running about $94 million of value to the city. When you assume the 20% homestead exemption on 95% of the homes, that equates to about $357,000 in annual taxable value to the city full build out. Going on to page 71 of your packets. So this project is partially in and partially out of your city limits, so annexation would be required. You can see that on Exhibit B, where that's located below Exhibit J. Once it gets annexed, it'll have to be zoned single family to match. The other thing to note is, just for point of clarification, the CCN boundary. So back before pre-2011, the Dalton Painesville CCN included this tract. There was a 2011 settlement between the city and Dalton Painesville that excluded this area along with the high school and Hills of Town Creek. That's part of everything north of the railroad tracks, kind of inside the building, more or less, was excluded from that CCN. So that's worth noting, but it is based on what they're showing in the land plan, there would be variances required because it will be proposed 65-foot lots. More than likely, they'll be asking for obviously reduction of that. The lot depth, lot area, and the side yard setback would be inspected variances and have requested those as of today. Final thing is, again, there hasn't been official movement on this, but they're anticipating to create a pit for this development. I know that this developer has presented the pit concept to the city before on other tracks, and they're looking to do the same for this one. All right, moving on to more in-depth on water. This section goes through your current capacities, projected capacities, etc. Based on all this, to summarize it down, as we've been talking about, water plant number 4 is needed. So we're going to be talking with staff on Friday about starting that RFQ. There's another item that was listed in your impact fees and on your potential use of CO funds to get that design work started for the additional water plant capacity. And again, just a reminder, you have one existing site in the Hills of Creek neighborhood. You also, part of your development for Redbird was another site located just south of the railroad tracks at Old John Mechanicsville Road for that future plant. As far as water service goes, you would be connecting to both, ultimately, Old Plantersville and Old Dock Plantersville. The Old Dock Plantersville line is what's being installed by Redbird. Obviously, the Old Plantersville line that's existing today. Going through the sanitary sewer, again, I talked about the plant. Obviously, we took action on that. The other thing, kind of, with our projections, we try to be more conservative. So this includes one of the big drivers in your sewer capacity is the Nantucket apartment complex, which is the 360, 370 units over by Pizza Shack. As of today, they've been silent now for 6, 8, 12 months. Sounds like they're still planning to do the project, but there's not a timeline in place. So that's assumed to be coming online. So if that continues to push on the capacity projections, continue to push. No reason. Still need to go forward with the project, but again, those are how we other thing is actually how they're going to get sewer from the track. So we're going to have to install a new lift station. A recommendation, you can see it on the exhibit in your exhibit B in your property or in your packet. Would be in the center of the property, kind of as a bowl, so it falls down to the center. Our recommendation is you would have them oversize that to include what can actually flow there between them and 105, because there's a kind of grade break. So again, not have too many lift stations and put those in. There's a handful of options regarding their route of the force main out of that we've shown on the exhibit that we're open to them. All of them do two main things: is they go straight to the Town Creek sewer plant instead of going to another lift station. So they could either pump to lift station 4, which would cause lift station 4 to have to be upsized, as well as now we're pumping twice. They can pump to lift station 5, same concept. So the proposed routes that we show have them bypassing 4 or 5, depending on which way they go, to not double pump. Other thing with that is either one of those options, there'll be some gravity line upside that they'll need to do by just sitting 264 homes to it. Big one on this track is transportation. So if y'all will go to Exhibit G, you will see two exhibits in here. One is an aerial exhibit that shows the thoroughfare proposed, and one is an excerpt from the Montgomery County Thoroughfare Plan. That's accurate. So the Montgomery County Thoroughfare Plan had a north-south thoroughfare that went all the way from 1097 down Womack Cemetery. The issue with the plan, all those are put together on a high-level view, is the railroad crossing. So talk to the railroad, what is the feasibility of getting another at-grade crossing? As expected, unless we want to get rid of both Old Plantersville and Old Dock Plantersville, there's no new, there will not be any at-grade crossings. Your other option would be an overpass. Overpass in this location, that's a big ticket item, and the need is low. So our recommendation is what's shown on page 87 of your packets. That takes that north-south corridor, which is common plan in the Tri-Point tract as well. Still continue south, but go ahead and turn it and take it over to 149 ultimately. So you get that north-south corridor over to 149 and not the additional railroad crossing. The other thing we looked at was the proposed sizing of that roadway. Based on the use, based on it not being that thoroughfare, we're reducing that to where it's more of a Buffalo Springs, the proposed Buffalo Springs type section. So when you look at the city, you have Lone Park at the ends, Buffalo Springs, and what would be Westway Drive. which is this proposed road. That'll be roughly 36-foot wide pavement sections, so 2 lanes with a center lane, and then you have 149 obviously in the middle, to kind of balance it out. To kind of make the traffic. All this will obviously, work through the county, based on previous conversations, the county is open to what the city's going to recommend as far as thoroughfares within the city. But so more conversation at the end of this development will have to go to Montgomery County for approval since they're tying into a county road on whole document.
So, and maybe I've just not seen the picture right, but the blue thoroughfare that you got squiggling through there,
Yes,
it basically touches Old Plantersville Road.
yes.
What's gonna happen to Old Plantersville Road and the Redbird? Because that's how they get in and out.
The road stays, it'll just be an intersection.
Oh,
So it's not getting rid of Old Plantersville Road, trying to get, when it's only connected to 149, taking the traffic from coming out here to get over to 149 or get over to 105 through this road versus to right in front of City Hall.
I mean, it's an intersection, but instead of being even close to a 90, it's a,
Just a kind of an odd angle,
like a
but it's
wide-
still.
It's kind of in a rough thing as it is, so obviously this is a high-level conceptual plan.
Yeah.
Look at the lane plan, they're connecting at a 90, and it would be roughly that, and then continue on.
Well, and this is just proposed, doesn't even mean it's gonna happen.
Well, I understand.
They have
I'm just
proposed
trying to
this
look
for
at
a
it.
long time, and so I don't even think that we build a city around proposed roads, because who knows? And if we base it on the attention that we're getting today, which is none, then these are just pies in the sky, and these aren't gonna happen.
And the reason we kind of zoom that exhibit out is because obviously the next agenda item is the Tri-Point across the street. So, looking at this kind of how this road aligns by itself versus looking at it as a whole from Lone Star Parkway all the way through.
And looking at the next item, like there's already a road going through there, I don't know why this road, I just don't even think we keep it in consideration.
Right, it would
But
be,
it's good to know.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
right, it wouldn't be an additional road
Yeah,
through
no.
your neighborhood, it would be part of it.
yeah,
right.
yeah, it's, okay.
All right. Development costs will be covered on the executive summary, and that is all.
So if we drop back to page 72,
Yes.
I'll let you get there. It's paragraph, let me get to it. Has to do with the booster, right?
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, so where you're sitting at today,
It's the fourth one down.
68,000 gallons per PCQ after the rules. Your limiting factor right now is your booster pump capacity, so adding that third booster gives you up to about 796 in average flow capacity.
So would we need the booster for this development?
We would recommend having this booster go in.
So with that, I think it's the second to last paragraph? No.
Oh, as far as the funding of the booster, so booster's an impact fee project. Their impact fees would cover this.
Okay.
So that's where we would recommend it. This would be part of the development agreement where we looked at them funding that directly. That same booster pump is also needed for the next development on the list. So it's one of those, we're looking at impact fees on both that will exceed the cost of that. So proceed with the project. Obviously, both of these impact fees being paid will be part of the funding of that project.
Good enough. Thank you.
So on that map where it shows the thoroughfare plan for the county, I'm concerned about this development because of 500 cars roughly coming in and out of one entrance and right by the high school too. So if you've been at that Spring Branch and 105 today, it gets backed up almost to the tennis courts at days, and I can't imagine this. And then the roads cut, so if they were to come take a left and then come through here, I mean, it's just not feasible.
The recommended is not to require traffic impact analysis to show, what that impact would be and how they're going to mitigate it, that it doesn't put it beyond, an acceptable or unacceptable level of service. Because you're right, either way, they're going on to already heavily used small streets. And without another relief route, it's going to cause an impact on the city. But we did a reasonable impact analysis.
And do you think that we could really sell $400,000 homes on top of a railroad? Are those going today?
Real estate funding,
Yeah.
we take the number from the developer.
Okay,
And,
okay. Well,
that's the best.
that's the other thing I wanted is a ghost town too, or product sitting there that's not.
That has been a major concern, and we've talked about in multiple meetings with them, is the railroad. We've talked to them about the potential of flipping the land plan, putting the road against the property boundary to give a little bit more space. I know they've talked about sound walls and additional landscaping and things like that, but that has been a concern since the pre-development meeting with them. and it's
Yeah, we had that.
Correct.
Yeah,
Something
I
we
know.
can't,
Moving forward, I just wanted to make sure it was
Absolutely.
brought out
I think I
because
have a head.
I
Had a
yeah.
30-foot easement for that sound barrier.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
sound barrier would help.
Yeah, that's right. He did have that big easement built in. So I guess we just need to accept the step.
so it's no action, it's accepting of the study, you're not agreeing to
Okay.
survey, you're not agreeing to any of the variances, annexation, any of that, it's just acceptance of the study. Y'all also provide comments and feedback, we'll pass on to the developer, they're reviewing it, there's more steps to come.
Okay.
So they have received a copy of this?
They have reviewed it with their engineer, and they are coming up with a couple comments and questions, and I think they said they'll be reaching out to set up a follow-up meeting in the next couple days.
And accepting the study in no way binds us to giving the green light to go, correct? Making sure.
Just
A
feasibility.
lot of steps before any kind of actual development.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the study as presented.
Second.
I'll take Carol's as a second. Motion's debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving the feasibility study, item 5 as stated, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. We will approve item 5. Item 6, very similar, consideration and possible action on acceptance of a utility and economic feasibility study for a proposed 108-acre single-family residential development by Tri Point Homes, Texas, Incorporated, development number 2409.
All right, as I mentioned before, a lot of the items will be close to the same. I think the major differences between this project and one of the similarities. So this project is much less dense. We're looking at 90-foot lots over 136 acres. So there wouldn't be, any variances that are expected on this from lot size, lot depth, side yard setbacks. We're looking at a larger lot development that's being proposed. Big thing on, so water sewer line capacity, same story as the last, Sylvania Dish Pump, proceeding with the expansion project we talked about tonight. The big one is lift station number 5. So they currently would drain to lift station number 5. Lift station number 5 is not in great shape, and it is out of capacity. So if you've ever gone, if you're going out of town by Napa, it's the one down in the bottom of the creek, that is lift station number 5. So what is proposed as part of this study is the relocation of that lift station as part of this development, which moves it up into kind of off the Westway, and all the flow that existing goes to it, and all their flow will go to it as one larger lift station versus having multiple. Obviously, that is a much higher cost, so we're looking at about $1.1, $1.2 million for that lift station project, between generator, site, et cetera. And Tri-Point would use about 35%, 32% based on the numbers. So it's definitely something to consider in terms of cost sharing between other developers that are coming in, city, things like that, because there's a regional benefit. It's a need for the city to upgrade and repair this lift station. That some type of public-private partnership would be, in our opinion, appropriate for this project. Looking at their taxable value, obviously they're looking at approximately $700,000 homes of their value. which if you use the same math as last time with the 95%, which is the homestead exemption, you're looking at about $440,000 annually in full build out of additional taxable revenue to the city. Again, same as last time, this was in the development plan until CCN, or a small sliver was, same 2011 agreement, pulled that out. Annexation would be required for a small portion, and then zone R1 residential after that. Water treatment is the same, only different, or as far as getting water to, is that we would have them extend the 12-inch water line along Lone Star Parkway, and then continue that through the development to create another loop. So connecting Lone Star Parkway to 105, closing that additional water line loop as part of their development is included in this cost. It's something that's definitely needed, because right now, Hills of Town Creek, in order to drop water to get from the main sewer plant on 1097 to Hills of Town Creek, it goes down 149 all the way out 105 and back, versus a shorter route. So anytime that we can get loops and close that route is a benefit to the city. Talked about lift station number 5, covered that. Drainage, straightforward, they have to do a drainage impact analysis, show no impact on the stream. They are onto the town tributary, like the last one, so extra caution there for, as we know, the condition of Town Creek. Traffic, same things we discussed last time about the thoroughfare north-south. So they're already proposing a north-south road through the development. Initially, when we go to the county's original thoroughfare plan, that was a 120-foot wide right-of-way going through their development. Based on this proposed, it takes it down to 70 and 36-foot wide pavement section, which may be able to be a little better incorporated into the lane plan versus a much larger road to serve the need of, again, having a connection between 105 and and development costs are listed. We talked about those. Going through the exhibits in the back, you'll see kind of the overall showing of the proposed lift station number 5 location. Just for reference, that road that we go through would replace Westway Drive. It would be right in that general area of realignment, so we don't have multiple intersections right there. You'll see copies of the main plan, as well as all the updated projections, cost estimates, etc. As we remember last time.
Sounds like much less challenges than the other.
I think the plan is to put a nice product in here, and in putting a nice product in here, it will bring other product like it. And I appreciate the lack of adjustments and variances, and certainly think that it's going to add a lot of value to our west side.
And one thing to note on the road alignment, so it's flexible. So as far as, this is, we're really locked on the Westway Drive, because we're only limited. But how it works its way through the neighborhood, we're next to Lone Star Parkway, we have some variance and some ways to work with the land plan to make sure that it makes the most sense to get that road in there that also is.
Am I looking at this right, that Westway Drive, and then where the proposed road on 105 would be? They're within feet of each other?
That's what they would replace.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the Westway we would essentially tie the Westway into this new road to serve that duplex, quadplex.
And
at the end of Westway.
Westway is going to be when? When are they putting that in?
Westway's there
It's
now.
already there.
It's there, it just needs to be connected.
It just stops.
Okay, I see. Yes, I know where we're talking.
Undefined road next to that.
Gotcha. Yeah. I've run into the end of it, yes. Okay. Go ahead, Stan.
So same as last time, you're not approving, you're just accepting, giving any feedback on the development. The developer is here if you have any specific questions for him.
Cheryl, do you have something?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. Anybody have any questions?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept item number 6 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Sarah, second by Casey. Motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving the feasibility study, item 6, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone
Yes.
opposed, say no. We will approve feasibility. Item number 6 is approved. Item 7, call for a general workshop, Joint Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council workshop, budget workshops, and special meeting to adopt fiscal year 25 budget. Gary?
Thanks, Mayor. In your package is a table that has the meetings listed and kind of the reasons why. We have a lot of work coming up. Obviously, we need to call for budget workshops. We also have the crime prevention and control district discussion we need to have. So I'm proposing we have a workshop immediately following the next meeting, May 14th. I'm sorry, following the May 14th meeting. We're only going to have one item on that agenda, so I'd like to go into a workshop after that to have this crime prevention control district discussion. And then on May 15th, Wednesday, will be a joint workshop between the City Council and the Planning Commission to get an update from our consultant, Kenyon Keys Collaborative, to give us an update on the planning project. And then the rest are budget workshops, and then the special call meeting aligns with the calendar for the county for September 16th on Monday. So my recommendation is that we approve this list and call for these meetings.
Does that work for the council?
I'll make a motion to accept these dates for the proposed general workshop, budget workshop, and special call meetings on Monday.
Motion by Sarah, second by Stan. The motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving item 7 as stated, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. We will approve item 7, workshop dates. Item 8, consideration possible action on adding a finance technician. Did we say we were going to scratch that?
Yes, sir. We're requesting we just pull this.
So item 8, item 8 is scratched for now. Departmental reports, item 9, Public Works, March 2024 report.
And Mike is sick today, and I don't see Eric's not here, so we haven't taken any questions you have tonight. To get an answer for.
All right, if not, we would go to item 10, utility operations report.
Good evening. Looking at the report real quick, we got a consumption of 11,379, and the plant company 11.95 million gallons this last month, so total accountability of 95.16%. You can see the well pumpages from 3 and 4, they're split. And I assume nobody's had any water quality issues this last month? All right, good to hear. Good to hear. Keep informed on that. The next page is the wastewater treatment plant, and it's another nice clean bill of health for your wastewater treatment plant. However, I have a bit of news. Last week, we had a pretty significant repair. We had to make all the clarifier. And luckily, we were able to use tanker trucks, and we didn't have any interruption in service, and we were able to make the repair in the clarifier itself by lowering the level of the sewer plant and actually getting in there and making the repair. So one of the swing arms got caught in the actual clarifier right itself, causing the problem. So we made the repair. We were lucky we were able to get right to it. We were lucky that Chris and I's mutual client was able to take your flow for a very, very minimal cost. And I think the total cost would be less than $1,000 for the disposal fees of the sewer for that period of time. So it was pretty successful repair. But I don't want to downplay it. It was pretty significant. So I'm concerned about the health of the sewer plant. Again, TCQ contacts us if they ask us what's been going on. I have a laundry list of things to tell them what's been going on since we took it over. So I'm hoping we should be able to make permit this month. That is my anticipation. That is our goal. Last week, it didn't look so good, but it's getting better already. And I think by the end of the month, we should be able to average it down to where we don't have an issue with meeting permit. But we will see. I'll have more update next month when we get all the numbers.
Which plant was that again?
This was the
Main plant?
Sewer plant.
Stewart Creek.
Stewart Creek plant.
Stewart Creek plant, correct. The The next page is the status of our permit with the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District. You can kind of see where we are through the year. Anybody has any other questions?
You mentioned that you would have to give TCEQ if they asked any questions. Our report card, is that concerning?
So no.
Okay.
So if they contact us, because we've gone 3 months, we took over the plant, it was not in compliance, and it took us 3 months to get it turned around, remember?
Yeah.
We had some significant events.
Yep.
And that could be a red flag
Okay.
to the state. And because of that, so I'm prepared.
Okay.
I'm prepared is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Good.
I took it as 911. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. That's all right. Can we expound upon that?
Nobody's as good news from the state.
All right.
How old is that plant, Chris?
2007, 9?
So it's not that bad, not that old. I mean, it ain't young.
And their lifespan is it 40 years?
50.
Yeah, so as long as you continue to take care of it, it's a concrete plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have rehabs. Once you have this new plant online, you'll have a lot more flexibility to be able to divert flow and take it down and do some more preventative maintenance. But it'll be for a while.
Look.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Item number 11, court report.
Thanks for getting before the camera.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. The citations for March 2024 were 197, and the collections for the revenue, was $34,303 for March. Any questions for the board?
For February or March?
For March.
That's March.
So I think of the citations, there was a discrepancy on the citation amount, so I've changed that.
Oh, okay.
If it says 197, but the revenue is correct.
Okay,
That's why I was
gotcha. Okay. I was confused. Thank you.
Any questions for the board? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 12, Police Department Code Enforcement.
She's got it made.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You have the board in front of you. Any questions?
Our arrests seem to be up.
Mayor?
So our arrests seem to be up. Yeah, no. But
You guys
there are more bad people in town.
Right?
Sir?
Yes,
Good, good.
going to
Thank
the
you.
meeting.
Thank you. Item 13, financial report.
Don't call on us. 1 o'clock.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council. I don't have anything of significance to point out in your financial report. If y'all have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. This is the first month that you're seeing the sales tax report. Anything else? If you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer those as well. We did have a large sales tax revenue that was received, so we're it's not out of the ordinary, it's just we're trending on
Trending up.
higher sales tax.
That's it, trending up. All right, very good. Item 14, city engineer.
So the report, first item on there is water plant 2 improvements project. That project will start bidding next week. We expect to have a ROA to May, second meeting in May. For that water well replacement, ground storage tank replacement, and some miscellaneous site work, rebuilding work on that property. Item 2, related to that, as well as your future water plant that we talked about a while ago, all that comment is sitting at Lone Star. I think that their last correspondence is they're working to get it on the next, or coming up agenda for approval. For those items. The sewer rehab phase 1 project, that one, they had an equipment breakdown, so they didn't get as much done as expected, but they should be done in the next 2 to 4 weeks with the entirety of that project. We did receive a pay estimate last month, which is $2,830. As of middle of March, they're Drive Phase 2 project, those contracts have been signed by the contractor and are in final review by your attorney. We just sent those today, and once we get those back, we'll get scheduled a notice to proceed. Keep on going. On top of the second page of our report, your lift station 10 improvements, that project is underway on Buffalo Springs. The old Plantersville Force Main Extension Project, item 8, that project, that contractor mobilized this week and started with some preliminary kind of layouts and flagging. A couple questions come up from residents during it that have been answered and addressed. The old Plantersville Water Line Extension Project, that one is waiting on easements from UISD. So there's obviously a lot of coordination with UISD going on, so as we're working through reading those items. The GPS permit for the Town Creek wastewater plant, we should get the final approval any day now. Just waiting on the state. Buffalo Springs Drive Reconstruction Project. As of today, Home Depot expects to deposit their funds on Friday. So contracts are ready, everything's signed and executed. Just we're waiting for the city to sign until the money hits the escrow account, which as of today will be Friday, and then we'll issue the notice to proceed with that project. No update on the signal improvements. That one will be waiting on materials for July. Expected in July. Moving on to the next page of our report, feasibility studies, obviously we covered those. The HEB one, as of right now, we still haven't received all the required information from the developer, including the site plan, estimated water and sewer usage and value. So we're stuck on our feasibility study. So as soon as we get it, we'll get it turned around, but we're kind of on a standstill on that project until they send it over. All your plan reviews are listed. A couple updates. The ag barn, we did receive the revised plans today. Just to go a little more detail on the CTE and ag project. We had a meeting with them last week to go over our erosion concerns under outfall into Town Creek. We came to a resolution. They have now put that on their plans, and that's what we got this afternoon. The agreement that we've been discussing, or that was discussed at council, has been drafted. It's going around internal review, including that storm sewer provision that they complete that work. And so the goal is that I think at your next meeting to have that in front of you all for approval. Lone Star Mart is, those plans were approved. I'll point this out because this is the convenience store at Buffalo Springs and Lone Star Parkway. Again, everything is being done per the rules, per the setbacks, for lighting, sound, everything that you have in your ordinance. It doesn't say there's not going to be complaints that come from.
This doesn't say what, I'm sorry?
That complaints won't come.
Oh,
So
they're coming. On the, they're coming.
Tell me again, it's coming, but they have all the ordinance.
The good thing too, the houses that are north of that are further down.
They're low.
I actually went in the backyard and looked, and I think,
Carol had a
sorry.
question.
On the sign, it says a car wash.
Yes,
Is that, you've looked at the plans for that?
yes. The
How's
car
that
wash-
sound going to be next to
So we
residential?
had them, we talked to them about the sound ordinance and their operating hours, and that was something we'll have to just, between your code enforcement, keep an eye on that they're staying within that, because it backs up. It's on the western side of the boundary, so those houses that back up on the west side, that car wash will be there.
That is awful.
Then going on to the page 4, the MISD Fuel Center, we returned copies of those plans today, and as well as we did receive Hills and Concrete Section 5 plans today for review. Going on to the ongoing construction, nothing really to note within the plat reviews. The lift station in Montgomery, Maine, the 224 lift station, they did an inspection of that project last week or the week before, issued them a punch list. They still don't have power, so one of the stipulations is they don't have power by May 15th. They agreed to do a whole new re-inspection, because obviously we're waiting on power. We can't do a full completion. So they were waiting. Last night we had heard Energy had done their part. They were just waiting on the contractor to make the final power connection to the lift station to run their start. for that to be inspected. Summit Business Park drainage lines, that will be in your next meeting agenda for acceptance. Just part of their last phase of the project, the municipal storm sewer, that will be city's responsibility. Going on to page 5, a one-year warranty inspections of traffic crossing in section 1. Just as a reminder, there's cracking within the intersections of that development that occurred after they put in the curb ramps that were required. That has been discussed with the developer multiple times. He agreed in the field to do the work. We've been following up on a bi-weekly basis. He had agreed, get the prices, and then 2 weeks ago he said he's going to set it up a meeting. So that's where that stands. And last item to hit is the impact fee updates. Just, we had that ordinance last time. That is all posted on the website for comment. And at the May 28th meeting, we will conduct that public hearing and then continue with the impact fee process. And that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, you'll see an updated developments map on the next page showing where all your developments are and what stage they are in.
Chris, any way that we can ask Lone Star Mark to put that car wash on the eastern side, since there's no homes over there, or very less number of homes? Because it'll back up to Buffalo Springs, or be to the side of Buffalo Springs, possible?
We can ask. We don't have an ordinance that
Strongly suggest?
requires
Yeah,
that.
I understand, but-
And I think their argument's going to be is that from an access standpoint, they don't want a car wash blocking their
Entrance.
access off of Buffalo Springs. But again, we'll send them that note first thing in the morning and see if there's a way that they can do it. And express the concerns of noise and complaints we talked to them about, and went through in detail with lights and everything else. And
You might consider getting some specific numbers on that, because that is going to be an issue. Like, here is the projected noise that's not within our code right now, so that they know it in writing that it's going to be suspect there on the west side, and they need to seriously think about another plan. I would be very assertive about that, because that is going to be a problem.
we will reach out and voice concerns. Again, I can't make them, but we can always try.
Okay.
Get creative.
Yep.
We tried. We went through the ordinance multiple times to see what we could do.
Anything else?
The construction on Old Plantersville Road that started some time ago, a few weeks maybe?
Yes.
Okay, is that is funded by the Red Road Meadows, right?
That is correct.
And do they get the contractor? We did?
We did.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so this is part of their development agreements. They put up, similar to Home Depot, they put up funds, they put up the construction dollars to fund that project in the water line project in its entirety.
On that, Stan, I went by there before the meeting, and about a third to a half of the road is missing from their heavy equipment. So they have dirt out, and then the road is completely disintegrated. Who's responsible for putting that road back together?
Contractor is, so I mean, we have pre-site photos, so
Okay.
before contractor starts construction, we go in.
It's wild.
And that also, if there's road damage, that's all incidental work, is to restore the site to its condition.
So they will lay down new asphalt?
Correct.
Okay.
They won't do the full road, but they will do the repair of what they.
There was a strong consensus that they needed to take care of that road as they destroyed it, and so that was very clear from the very beginning.
Yes. As far as the contractor that's causing the damage, he'll fix that. As far as the developer as a whole and doing upgrades to those roads, that's also in the process.
That was part of
Do
it.
you all have an engineer on the job site?
Not full-time, but we have an inspector that stops by. He's probably in the city most days of the week because he's checking on all the developments as well as all the capital projects. I know he was out there today because the property just on the south side of the railroad tracks, the kind of shop on the north side, there was a complaint that came in about the location of the line because it goes to an easement on his property. He met on site with him, that came up this morning. Our inspector was on site, met with him this morning, and we had a phone call this afternoon. So he's there. He's not on every project every day, but he's stopping by a couple times a week.
All right.
It's still light outside. I would encourage you to go by there. I mean, I was surprised.
It is city.
Questions, council?
It is city.
All right. Item 15, city administrator.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple updates on that planning project I was talking about earlier. We held a kickoff meeting with the city staff and the consultant and set the schedule. You guys have probably seen several invites come across your emails. We're holding the master plan workshops on the 29th, April 29th and 30th of this month at Lone Star Community Center. We are also holding indirect stakeholder meetings at the downtown community building, and those will be on May 14th and 15th. So that project is moving along, tracking well. Other item is MISD CTE Center. That project, we've been collaborating with them, going back and forth. We today just are finalizing the cost share agreement. Caleb was working on that, circulating it, going to get it to the board, have them take a look at it. We'll get it back to y'all probably at the May 14th meeting. That was that single agenda item I was talking about. Other than that, all the other issues are being worked out, so I think we're good there. And I don't have anything else to update on. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay.
So the cost share agreement has to do with the 75 grand we
Yes,
agreed
sir.
to pay?
For the water line extension, yes, sir.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the departmental reports as presented.
Items 9 through 15 is the motion.
Second.
Did I hear Cheryl first? Cheryl is a second. Sarah is the first. Cheryl seconds it. Motion debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving developmental reports, items 9 through 15, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. We'll approve the departmental reports. Gary, were we still going executive?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so executive session will be authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Government Code of the State of Texas. City Council reserves the right to discuss any of the items listed specifically under this heading or for any items listed above. An executive closed session is permitted by law, including if they meet the qualifications of 551.074, personnel matters, city secretary recruitment. It is 7:07. We are adjourned to executive session.
Excellent, I get cold.
It is 7:22. We have returned from executive session. We have a motion.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to authorize our city administrator to offer the city secretary position to James Green contingent upon the standard background checks and negotiation.
We have a second. Second is by Sarah.
Sarah.
Which is kind of Sarah and Cheryl together. Anyway, so the motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of offering what Casey had read, and authorization that Casey read, say yes.
Yes.
That was easy. Anyone opposed, say no, and there are none. All right, Councilwoman Clark.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
I have no inquiry.
All right, anyone else?
Get ready for a rocky ride.
All right. We're going fast, sir, we're going fast. It is motion by Cheryl to adjourn, second.
We didn't ask for, never mind.
You did that.
Yeah.
Do you-
Councilman Court,
Yes, I did not hear it, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We haven't
What's happening with the private roads issue?
The what now?
The private road issue over there?
Oh,
So I'm waiting their to camera their system and get that to us so we can evaluate it. Once we do that, we'll provide an analysis and bring it back to you all with a recommendation on how to proceed.
But they are getting a camera.
Yes, we gave them some contacts and did engineering first of all. I just hadn't heard back from them yet.
Okay, dokie.
anything else? All
That's it, now we can adjourn.
Glad you
right,
got
it is 7:24 and we are adjourned.